Why did you become a PTA?
I was 38 and I was a teacher to begin with. That was my first degree. I wanted to be a PT to start when I was in college the first time. Got married at 19 years old. And my husband and I at that time was like, you know what? You're not going to work. You're going to be a stay-at-home mom, which is what I wanted to do. And so, but I wanted an education. So, why do all that education as a PT when you're going to stay at home? And so my second choice was teaching, which I do love education. I love teaching, which we do as a PT, PTA.
Every day.
We educate. So I went ahead and said, well, okay, I'll be a teacher, which, if I do ever have to teach, then that's a perfect, career to have with children. We knew we wanted a lot of children. I have 5 kids. So I went into education and I did end up teaching for a little while, but I stayed at home with my kids. Well, I went through a divorce at about 36, 37 years old and had to go back into the work field. Well, when I got ready to go back to teaching, I was like, there's no way I'm going to work for this income. I can't support 5 kids off of a teacher's income. So I thought, okay, I'll go back and be a PT. Well, I was like, heck no, I can't afford what the cost of schooling is going to be for a PT. And this is a 3 full years and I can't work. I have to work to support my 5 kids. So what can I do in order to, be able to work at least sometime and support my kids? And the shortest route was a PTA. I thought, oh, well, this is great. PTA program. I mean, when they showed me the difference of the cost and my age, I was 38 years old, the cost of what I was going to owe for, the loans and all that. I'm like, okay, this is a no-brainer. I'm going to work with patients and clients versus doing evals and discharges and all that. And it had just changed to the doctorate level. So I chose to go ahead and be a PTA. Well, even after I was a PTA, that thought was still nagging in my head because I'm feel like I'm stuck as a PTA and I can't do the things that I want to do. I can't progress. I'm stuck as a PTA. So I considered going to the bridge program. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to all this extra, the money that it's going to cost.
And
I'm not
what is the cost of the bridge programs now to take a PTA to become a PT?
Around $24,000. It's a 2-year.
Okay.
$24,000 a year. So 50,000, depending on which program you choose, about $50,000. Like
and so 2-year commitment then, and can you work during that time?
You can work. In fact, I think you have to work.
Okay.
I think you have to at least be employed part-time.
Okay.
At least the one in Texas.
So return on investment, 2 years of your time, work full-time, take out a loan for a minimum of $50,000. So as a PTA, I don't know what you're making, but in home care, we can make the same starting salary as a PT. So really, there's no return on investment on the money we're putting in.
Right. Now, don't take, my numbers are not exactly accurate, but those are average.
Yeah.
Because, and that's why I was like, no, I'm not. And I'm 53 years old. I'm like, I'm not, I'm too old. I'm not going to do that.
You are like a twin of me. I don't know where you've been all of my life, but we're the same age. We have the same passion. We were married, divorced, had to support our kids, had to make some financial decisions that were hard. So we did lateral shifts into skilled nursing and home care because that's the only way to grow as a PTA.
Right.
But we knew we wanted to provide more to a person and a client, but the only thing limiting us is our PTA degree because our knowledge base and our time and what we can provide a client is there.
Right. So I considered opening a PT office. I considered opening the PT office. And again, there's all the cost involved with that. I'm like, nope. I also don't know that I have the time and the energy to put into having a PT office and then having to still really operate under a PT. I mean, having I have to have a PT in the office. So, okay, I don't know.
They're going to cost you a minimum of $60,000 to $70,000 to $80,000 a year, and you have to fully staff them. Like they have to be full.
Right. Okay. So what can I do as a PTA? And I just basically given up. I cannot use my PTA license to do anything other than be a PTA. So that's why I'm a personal trainer. What can I add to that and still use my knowledge as a PTA. And that's when I just started researching. I found you. I mean, I've looked at going into all kinds of, non-clinical avenues. And I felt like, okay, I've wasted all this time as a PT. I've wasted all these years, all that education,
But you're
all of
obviously
that.
good at what you do because your customers are saying, and this is the part that, guys, I didn't hit record until way into this conversation. Vicky started right in the beginning, but so you already have clients post PT that are going, okay, I'm just starting and you're telling me you're going to discharge me. And so those clients are desperate. They're saying, hey, we'll do this under the table. I need you to continue to treat me. And you're saying, as a PTA, what's limiting you in helping these clients is that you're a PTA.
Right. Exactly. Mhm. And I'm like, no, 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 I can't do that. I don't want to lose my license.
So we're our own profession is kind of tying us up to where we can't help clients, but I feel like we have the knowledge base to help so many people. And that person walks out of your door that wants help from you because you can't, because you'll lose your license, right?
Right.
Where are they going? Where are they going to be able to go to get the care that you could have provided them, but you can't because you risk your license? Where are they going to go, Vicki?
Exactly. That's what I'm searching. And I have done extensive search, and I considered uh, adding the stretch and adding the stretch and flexibility certification from NASM, because I'm certified through NASM with my personal training.
Yep.
I've done all of that. And then I came upon that's why I listened to your podcast all the way home from my daughter's lacrosse game from Iowa. And I thought, oh, I need to actually talk to Kim and see, what I can do. I don't exactly know what I can do, through her, how that would work versus just adding that certification from NASM, which would be the route that I don't know which route would be better for me. And I need to see what you have to offer.
Yeah. So first, I want to ask you one big question. Okay. What if at the end of any route that you take, whether that is NASM and doing a stretch and flex program, whether it's going to get another certification under your belt and doing something different, what at the end of the day do you want to be able to accomplish? What do you want to be able to do?
I want to be able to help people um, feel good. At the end of the day, I want to know that someone comes into me and says, okay, I have this problem. What can you do for me?
Yep. Yep. And
And
what
to be
else?
able to resolve that.
Yeah, and that's probably the number one thing that I hear from every single PTA that I talk to. Number one on my list that they want to be able to do is to be able to help people. And they feel like currently in the reactive care system, they're constrained. They can only do what the PT says, what the billing requirements say for insurance, or what the physician says. But it's a total disconnect because your client comes to you and they go, I'm in this building and I want PT to cover and I want my insurance to pay, but I want so much more than what is offered within these two doors. Correct. So
Right.
we're not the only ones feeling this. The client, what is the client wanting?
Right. They want to feel better. Yeah.
They want to
They
live
want to
their
be able
life.
to move and go about their day and do the things that they would normally do.
They want it. What I'm hearing is they want to be able to get down and up from the floor because as they're getting older, and you're talking about that 40-plus-year-old population, they're starting to feel that their joints are stiffening. They're not walking as much. They're not able to work out because of fear that they're going to damage something and they won't be able to work and support their family. They want to be able to play with their grandkids. They want to be able to walk down the stairs without pain. They want to be able to I'm writing out my marketing stuff and I have a huge list of everything that my 40-plus-year-olds want to be able to do. They want to travel, they want to play golf, tennis, they want to work out. They don't want surgical options.
Right. In addition to that, like my daughter in college that plays lacrosse, she has a constant pain in her knee that I know is probably coming from her hip or her back or her hip flexor, and she can't get, relief from that. I'm like, honey, if you were here, I'd be able to work on you, and you can't because you're in Iowa. Like, I wish there was something I could do for you, but I don't have you here. But there are athletes that need help too.
And what I'm finding with those athletes is they have an underlying hypermobility problem. So
Yes.
they're probably on some sort of spectrum that they have an underlying autoimmune or hypermobility. And because of that hypermobility, they have nowhere to go. These people go to personal trainers, to massage therapists. They have chronic pain and they have lax joints, poor muscle recruitment, and pain from the constant nervous system and joint reaction. And they can't seem to get any relief or any help. And a personal trainer and a yoga studio is not where they need to be.
Right. I agree.
Yeah. So, wow, this is awesome. I mean, you should see, if I had a camera, I could show you all the papers I have out with all of the different things I'm writing down for all of the areas within the clinic that we market to try to speak to that consumer. But what this comes down to is you are a PTA, but that is a role and it is a license. You have a much higher skill than the typical personal trainer. But because you have a license and it is restraining you, you now have to work as a personal trainer, but you can only do what that personal training certificate entitles you to do without risking your license.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
For instance, and I've got a client at 9 o'clock
Oh,
that I have
no.
to, but
Okay.
no, it's at 9 o'clock. She's at 9 and it's just right around the corner.
Okay.
I have a client at 9 o'clock, I'm her personal trainer, but she has RA and she wants to get stronger. She also has an artificial joint in her wrist and she has a metal plate in her foot. And so she was like, okay, she is 50, she's around 50, but she's waited all this time. She's like, I've never known what to do. I want to get stronger. There's so much, and I'll say experience pain normally on a daily basis. I have never been able to, progress to get past this, but I'm 50 years old and I know that I need to get better at this. And I'm so happy you're doing this. I've never wanted to go to anyone else before because I've never trusted anyone, but I know because of your therapy background, you know what to do with me. So I'm like, I'm so glad. And she has progressed. Oh, you wouldn't believe the things she can do now. And it's just, it's so awesome. So
You're getting the same kind of results that we're getting, but we're also able to utilize our PTA background experience and all of that. So I'll talk to you a little bit about TSM because I want you to be able to get out and get to that client. So the stretch method is sort of our umbrella. So if you say that a PTA is a PTA and we work with a PT and we work under our licensure that covers us, correct?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So the way we had to create this program for PTAs is that we had to develop an overlying agency that housed all of our training, all of our systems, all of our processes, how we do things, and that is the stretch method. Okay. So the stretch method is our affiliation. That is, that's the license that we are able to work under as PTAs, but we cannot perform physical therapy services. So instead of physical therapy services, we can perform under the wellness and prevention umbrella in health, fitness, and wellness. And we can work as stretch mobility coaches, performing stretch mobility coach services on our clients.
Okay.
Okay. To get into the stretch method, the stretch mobility coach training program, you have to have graduated a PTA program that has been accredited or hold a current license as a PTA.
Okay.
Okay.
That does.
Okay. Yep. Check.
Yes.
So then what you have to do is be qualified by TSM to see, number one, we're looking for passionate PTAs that are looking to join the movement, that want to be a part of our brand, our intellectual property, that want to help other PTAs and clients around the US be able to get these services. And we want to promote these services so that we are all, raising ourselves up to a higher standard. So once you qualify, you sign up for the certification portion of it. And that is an online training that you do in your own time. And it's sort of a prep course, shall we say?
Uh-huh.
Okay. That is $1,250 to get into that course. And then you pay $249 a month to stay in that course. Now, that course is not a course that you just go, okay, in 3 months, I can be finished with this course, because you're going to have clients with all sorts of underlying diagnoses that maybe throw up red flags for you. Okay. And
Yeah.
you're going to need, that is a resource center to help you understand how to perform consults on people that maybe would have been looking for PT, or maybe they
Yeah.
failed PT and you're not going to know what to do. So that resource center is yours to keep as long as you need to. And typically we're seeing people keep it 5 months to a year, just based on how much they already know about prevention and muscles, and how much they really need, because you're on your own. You don't have that PT support.
Okay, so it's $1,250 for the course, and then $249 a month.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. But now once you sign up for that, that's online. So you're going to get everything you need to know about what TSM is. You're going to get all of the things in our systems and such, our hands-on care, everything you need to know in there. But you're going to have to sign up and attend a 3-day intensive skills mastery training camp. And that's in Westchester. It's held on Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays. And you are immersed in the clinic, and you get to see all sorts of diagnoses, treatments, systems, processes, kind of what your practice needs to look like, so that you have everything at your fingertips.
Is that an additional fee?
That is $4,799 for that 3-day intensive. My dog is trying to get, he's alerting me that he wants to come in.
Okay.
So after you finish that intensive, you are now prepared to keep a training log, and now you can see clients as an apprentice stretch mobility coach. Now, you're not charging full price yet. Now, there's 2 separate programs. Let me just back up a second. That's if you want to work in a stretch mobility coach affiliate location and not own your own business. If you want to own your own business and you sign on to be an affiliate owner through TSM, then you're able to charge full prices as an apprentice and start your business part. Does that make sense?
Okay, so an affiliate location, so that would be, then someone would have to be, there would have to be a location where I am.
There would have to
Okay.
be a location where you are. And what we're offering right now is for those people who are not ready to jump into business ownership, have the opportunity, if they pass the practicum, which is the next step. You treat people, you keep a training log. You now feel like, I'm 100% ready to take this test. And there is an exam. You have to come back to Westchester for that test. It's $799. And that is another couple days that you're going to come in. You're going to do consults. These are paying customers that you will be the person in charge of that consult. After you perform the consult and the treatment and prescribe the plan of the program, then you're going to have to do a written portion to write out what their program is going to be. If you pass both of those portions, then you're able to sit in front of the board and do your oral exam, which is going to be, you're going to be engulfed in questions of TSM to make sure you truly understand what you're doing and you're practicing. We don't want PTAs pretending they're PTs. We're not PT.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
You need to know what you're doing, what your intellectual property is, what your rights are, that you're practicing within Stretch Mobility Coach and all of
Mhm.
that. You
Yeah.
pass that, you get a certification pin beside your picture on your website.
Mhm.
And that proves that you've been through the program and you are officially certified as a Stretch Mobility Coach.
Okay.
Now,
This is, go
if you
ahead.
if you want to be an owner and you want to open your own place, which Vicky, you would kill it. Okay. I don't think you need to just work for a place, but you would really do well on your own. You would need to become an affiliate owner through TSM. That means your business holds the license that allows you to work as a Stretch Mobility Coach within a Stretch Mobility Coach practice.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Now, under that, let's say you open your business, you are an affiliate owner. Now, every skill that you've ever learned, nutrition, personal training, PTA, all of that you combine and put into your practice. You can utilize every one of those things without risking your license.
Okay. So basically, so if I'm the owner, then I do what I want to within that business.
But you are
Okay.
a Stretch Mobility Coach. You're not a
Right.
PTA.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. And then what you're probably doing the same thing that we're doing. We have in our clinic, we're about to roll out a new program for our LMTs. That's our training and LMT program. It's our newest, it's called the musculoskeletal rebuild program.
Mhm.
And then we also have red light therapy, which you would really do well with.
There's one at my gym. A red light therapy is at my gym.
Which one do they have?
You know what? I don't know.
So you want to make sure that it's not just red light bulbs that are not effective. A true red light therapy trifecta is one you want to look up, that either the bed or the pad system. And
It's standing, whatever it is. I haven't done it myself.
so it may just be, so for weight loss, if you want to do it for weight loss, which is what we do it for, and for like Lyme disease, chronic fatigue, those things, the pads have to touch your skin.
Okay, I don't know that this one does.
So those red light does really good for other things, but if you want certain effects, then you need to get a clinical unit, and they're really expensive. But we, in the last quarter one, we brought in over $40,000 just with red light services.
Wow. Wow.
And combined
That's,
with your nutrition and personal training, that program would roll out really good if you opened a clinic and you did.
okay, and then what would I have to do to be an owner?
To be an owner, you have to sign an affiliate license. The cost of that license is $5,000 yearly, and you have to pay that in advance for the year. That
Mm-hmm.
affiliation gets you your website, your social media pages, your mentorship, your we communicate with all of the Stretch Mobility coaches. So all of us meet twice a week for group calls. It assigns you a mentor so that you are successful in business. It also gives you a learning portal to teach you business, sales, and marketing so that your Stretch Mobility Coach practice is not only that you start it, but you're able to build it and you're able to scale it.
Mm-hmm. This is so within the training, there are some things that I'm not just keeping a check on my time. I am not, I wanted to add that I want to learn how to do that I haven't done with my training, like myofascial release, cupping, those kind of things. Is that included within the training?
So in the training, we do show what we do in our clinic for dynamic and static cupping. We
Mm-hmm.
also talk about the deep thermal laser. We talk about red light therapy. I'm happy to, there are going to be courses later on, like we're going to have we're working on right now, advanced strengthening for the Stretch Mobility Coach. I could totally do one on specialties like myofascial release and how we use it within the clinic,
Mm-hmm.
orthopedically. And then another good one would be osteoporosis. Those are
Yes.
up and coming courses for our affiliate owners that will be offering.
Because I would like to utilize like cupping, and definitely would like to add something like myofascial release, because I just feel like, I know for me, when I have, that has benefited me personally, the
So
myofascial release.
in the portion of the stretching component, we address root cause first, and when we get the mobility and the stability and they're on a good strengthening program, we incorporate our TSM stretching, which includes some myofascial release, some all kinds of techniques that we've learned through our career as a PTA. And that every one of those stretches I have come up with utilizing the skills that I've learned over the years.
Okay. You have given me a lot to think about. Because like I said, I mean, I was like, okay, do I want to go? I didn't know enough about your program. But do I want to go the route of getting the stretch and mobility from NASM, and then add the cupping, all the different certifications?
Yep.
And then not have necessarily I mean, I could open up I'm in the middle of moving to add to that. My husband just started a job yesterday. I'm in Longview, Texas right now.
Okay.
But my husband just started a job in Lufkin, Texas. So that's where we're moving to.
Okay.
Which makes me so sad. Change is hard for me. Change is very hard for me.
But it's probably you need to be there.
It's so hard. Because I mean, when I was looking at doing this right here, I'm like, we don't have anything like this in the city that I'm in right now. Tyler, Texas is the adjoining city right beside me. They do have two, like a stretch zone and a stretch. I think they have a stretch lab, or they do have a stretch and flexibility little place in Tyler. My little city here in Longview has nothing like that. I thought,
so even if you have those, let me tell you, you are so different than what you're gonna than what they get there. You will be so different. Yeah,
I completely agree. And so looking up, okay, Lufkin, where we're moving to, they don't have anything either. So Nacogdoches, the little city that's right beside us, does have a little like Pilates and stretch kind of thing, but they do offer more of a myofascial release. That's more of a Pilates kind of thing. So I'm very excited, and I know without a doubt that this is the route that I need to go, because I'm ready. I'm tired of having to answer to insurance. I'm tired of having to worry about my caseload each month. All that. So you've given me a lot to consider.
Yeah. And you know what? This is a big step, and you got a lot of change going on. Just know we're here to support you. You've got the support of me. You've got the support of my team in Westchester. You've got the support of the other coaches that are going through what you're going through, or have been through what you've been through and have stepped over and are now owners and loving what they're doing. So I think this was a great phone call. It's been great meeting you. I know that you're going to be successful no matter what you choose.
The biggest holdup for me is going to be cost. It's going to be like, oh my gosh, I got to come up with some finances here.
and you do, but you can put that aside and do it. All of us, that's the biggest struggle, right? Because doing what we really want to do. So go in the PT route, you're talking $50,000. This is at least a lot less than that.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
And you're able to practice and do what you love, but there are costs that come with it for sure.
Right. On that note, I did listen to another one of your podcasts, and it was about the cost of starting up.
Not Will Boyd. Alex Enger.
Yes. And you did mention that there were some banks, and you couldn't give the name on that podcast. There were some banks that were willing to work with women and those kind of things. I don't know if you can message me.
I will. I'm going to put it in the chat here so that you have it. That bank in the chat, if you can see that.
I do.
Okay. There's a lot of SBA loans that you can take out. There's also a line of credit that they will set you up with. I can actually, if you need to text me, And let me give you my cell number so you can text me at any time. I can give you the guy that you need to talk to, and he's happy to make sure he connects you to someone in his area. I mean, in your area, that will get your financing. I feel like if someone has a good financial mind, okay, you can take out a loan and be successful in business, and that's your good startup. So
Mhm.
don't think I had to spend extra money and do that. And I mean, you have to have cash flow. So
Right.
yeah. So reach out to me. I will connect you with the guy that can help you, and he can give you tons and tons and tons of information.
Okay. That would be, I don't have that. Is this Huntington? Is this based in,
They're all over.
um,
They're
all over? Okay. I
these
didn't know
banks.
if there was if it was just based locally or if that was out.
Yeah, you should be able to Google.
Okay.
Another thing that you can just Google is just Google small business SBA loans.
Yes. Hmm.
Um, and you should be able to pull up some local banks in your area that will be able to do SBA loans.
Okay.
And those are small business administration loans.
Right. Okay. I will check that out. I really appreciate your time.
Hey, it's really a
I
pleasure.
did discuss this briefly with my husband, and he's like, okay, let's see what she has to say. Cause I told him I had this call with you this morning. So well, I'll talk more with him and we'll go from there.
I think it would help a lot of other PTAs see, if they're going through the same struggle. So if you need me, you text me, you've got my cell number. I'm here to support you any way that I can.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you so very much. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day.
You too.